Hi guys, in this video we will be discussing the indications and contraindications of a pit and fissure sealant. This is a very commonly asked question in public health dentistry. So let's begin. When you look at a tooth clinically, you might find it caries. It could also be questionable if it is caries or no, or you could find it clinically sound. So this comes under your surface diagnosis. That is, the tooth could either be caries, it could be questionable, or it could be sound. Now, depending on these three criteria, there are some cases where you should seal the tooth and where you should not seal this tooth. If the tooth is caries, then you look at the occlusal anatomy. If you see that the pits and fissures are all caries, so the entire pit and fissure is gone, it's all caries, then such a tooth you should not seal. This will require cavity preparation. But on the other hand, if you see that the pit and fissures are separated by a transverse ridge and say this part of the tooth is caries, but the other half of it that is separated by the transverse ridge is sound, then you can seal the part of the tooth that is sound. So you can seal the sound pit or fissure. If the surface diagnosis says that this tooth is questionable, we don't know whether it is caries or sound, then you need to look for two other things. So you'll have to look at the status of the proximal surface and the general caries activity. So why are you looking at the proximal surface? Because if you see the occlusal surface, you're not able to judge whether it is actually caries. So by looking at the proximal surface, you'll get a rough idea whether this tooth is actually caries or no. So if you look at the proximal surface and see that it is sound, then you can go ahead and seal this tooth. But if you look at the proximal surface and the proximal surface is caries, it's going to give you an indication that okay, even the occlusal surface is caries, that's why you do not seal this tooth. You also look at the general caries activities of this mouth. So if you look at the tooth and you see that there are a lot of surfaces that have caries occlusally. So you're checking these two teeth, but then you see okay, even the premolars are having caries occlusally, even the third molar is having caries occlusally, which means that there are a lot of teeth that are having occlusal lesions. Okay, so in that case you would decide to seal this tooth. But if you see that okay, occlusally there aren't so many lesions, but proximally I'm able to see a lot of lesions, then you will not seal this tooth. Coming to the third surface diagnosis, that is if you see that the tooth is clinically sound. So if the tooth is clinically sound, you still have to check for certain things. First, you check for the occlusal morphology. If you see that the pit is deep and narrow, so like you can see here, this pit is really narrow and it's very deep, right? So if there is a deep and narrow pit, then you should go ahead and seal it. But if the pit is broad and it is well coalesced, then you should not seal this pit. Okay. Apart from that, you also see the tooth age. If it is a recently erupted tooth, you go ahead and seal it. But if the tooth is caries free for 4 years or more, you decide not to seal it. Next, you look at the status of the proximal surface. If you look at the proximal surface and it is sound, then you seal it. If it is caries, if you see that there is caries on the proximal surface, you decide not to seal it. So actually, all the points are basically related to caries. So if there's a lot of caries activities, you will not want to seal it. Instead, you will want to prepare a cavity and fill the tooth. That's why you would not seal it. So it revolves around this entire concept of having a caries or a sound tooth. So yeah, this was about the indications and contraindications of a sealant.